LTHS.
Hey Tracy,
I feel
here's
like I'm
Tracy
gonna
not
be
from.
judged or something.
Tracy's not from. We don't either.
There's
And I says, why? C1, and they built a wall in there, and now there's half a room, so we can't go in there anymore. So that's the end of that. And, so now before I start, before Ms. Booth starts, I just want to say that, like Mr. Allen said, our assistant coaches are so valuable to our program that they build the fundamentals that we need to have the kind of success that we do on the varsity level. And without their hard work and without their fundamentals that they teach you as freshmen and sophomores, we wouldn't be as successful as we are. And so I would like to thank Ms. Booth and the time and the fun that she's had with her freshman girls. And
It's hard having fun with them.
and also Mrs. Speaker and the work that she's done with the sophomore level girls and the competitiveness, and also my assistant coach Don Catula. And I really can't thank each one of them enough for what they've contributed to our program, and especially what they've contributed to each one of you girls, because all of them I know have touched your life in one way or another. At this
She's getting a steady boyfriend right now. No, they work together, and he just last night at game slid into second and sprained both ankles. Never came to our practice. You gotta wonder, like. Sophomore team, an outstanding year. This year, Ms. Booth warned me what I was getting. This team, though, was a lot better than I ever had anticipated. Last year, I say to everyone that this year finally I had earned my coaching check. Last year, I had a team that was so well put together that I really didn't have to do a lot of work, and we just breezed through it. Missy Porzel had just sort of carried us through with her pitching, and there were very few teams that could really bat against her. So it just carries through the season. Well, this year we had a total different story. We had a lot of players that could actually play a lot of different positions. We didn't have a lot of people who were real strong with pitching. Ms. Booth had used several girls to pitch, but we had no one who was outstanding in pitching. A lot of girls who were very good pitchers. And so this year we had to try and mold and gel and try and figure out what would work best. We had a little bit of a slow start, but they came around and won their last 13 straight games. We finished our season with an overall record of 18-4 and ended up second in conference. Unfortunately, it got us twice. They ended up with, I think, only one loss in conference. Just mess girls. Just a few things about the team overall. On defense, just to tell you what kind of a well-rounded team this was. In defense, I had 5 starters who ended up with 4 or less errors for the entire season. Jeline Jarris led the team with 38 putouts of 40 attempts. It sounds even better when you consider she's only standing about 20 feet from the home plate. And being a pitcher, she pitched in, I think I figured 16 of our 22 games pitching. She has about half the reaction time as the other defensive players, and she still had the highest percentage for defense. Puts down our other second pitcher, Chris Rowe, came in second with 36 of 40 attempts. Chris played both pitching and shortstop for us. Outside of our pitching, we had 2 catchers that were absolutely phenomenal. Lori Fiedler and Becky Bludgeon did an unbelievable job this year for us. And the unfortunate thing, they come through a program like Lockport, and they still stay in the sophomore level. And I kept looking at those girls thinking, oh my Lord, I look at these varsity catchers in other districts, I wonder if those girls would have been up there. But they just did an outstanding job all year. They have the best arms I've ever seen in the sophomore level, ever, in 10 years. I tried to get some statistics on them. The unfortunate thing was our statistics, we had the girls rotating, learning how to keep books. Our statistics were not really accurate. But they did have 12 putouts combined on the steals to second. And that's, I think, really a low figure considering they usually got a girl going so quickly and no one would steal off the block for him. He was wonderful. So we really kept our the other team's on-base percentage low. And if they got to one, they went on a try too. Between those two girls, they weren't going to get there, and they weren't going to get there easily. Did a real nice job. Pitching, Jolene again pitched in 16 to 22 games. Chris Burrow and Christina Haas split the other duties. And all pitchers, all my three pitchers together allowed an average of 3 or less pitches per game. And the games that we lost, we out-hit the other team every time, and basically the runs were scored on maybe a walk here or there or timely hits, but we outscored every one of our opponents in our 4 losses. The one thing that I'd like to comment on was the lessons in acting that they had to learn. One of the things that I think a little deceptive about our girls, their statistics, is that we had a real problem with fishing this year. We had umpires not show up. We had a sub for a sub umpires. We never had, I think we only had maybe 2 games where we had 2 officials. And a lot of these officials were new and were learning the game. And it was really tough on these 3 girls to get out there knowing how to throw different types of pitches and how to hit corners and never get them called that way. So I think our statistics are really a poor reflection of what they did. They did an outstanding job. And what I had to teach them to do was just to keep smiling, no matter how poor the officiating was. And they did real well. By the end of the year, you would never know that this guy was blowing the game for them. I think that the biggest thing that I could say about this team was their offense carried this team. Ms. Bluth had told me that, this team just can hit the heck out of the ball. And I thought, well, yeah, that's freshman pitching, but she was absolutely right. Out of my 15 players, 13 ended up with a batting average of 320 or better. And I had 5 batters who batted over 400 for the year. Lori Feather led the team with a batting average of 578. Second with 470. Sarah Boland, third with 421, and Sarah ended up the season with 8 straight line drive hits. 8 straight. Becky Blessing had a 406 batting average, and Dina Sankey ended up with 400 batting Before I get the girls up here, a couple things that I'll remember. Our game against Romeoville High School at Lockwood. That was the game where it started pouring at 3:15. My girls were waiting on the field at Lockwood for the thumbs up or thumbs down in the game. So I pull up in my car because I'm over at Central Campus, and right then the athletic director pulls up and he says, game's off. So I say to my girls, okay, run over to the school and I'll open the door and you can make your phone calls. Well, I waited and waited and waited, and I got really paranoid that I told maybe to run over to Central instead of Easy. And they came in and they were covered from head to toe. They decided to have sliding practice in the rainstorm. And for those parents, the other thing, you parents all get these phone calls, and this is what I heard in the other office. Mrs. Speaker said it was a good day to have sliding. Our game against Romeoville High School, where we won 37-4, and we tried to make out. I even included having girls bat left-handed. One time I even had bases loaded, and I was standing on third base for so long, I just needed a chair. So bases loaded, 2 out, and I said to my mother, just go on anything. Well, the catcher drops the ball, pops out right next to home plate, and I said, go. And she ran in and scored. Our games against Dorwood, we split a doubleheader with an outstanding team, the best team we faced all year, bar none. And we split with them, and we had 2 girls in Florida. I had 1 girl with a broken finger. I had 2 girls recovering from the flu. We were very short-handed. We were actually called Miss Pluth, and we're begging for players. We went out there that way short-handed, and we many girls sick, and we split, and that was a real good game. We came back the next day and had a perfect game against Joliet West. Jolene, out of 6-inning games, 18 outs, she struck out 14 and had 2 putouts herself on line drives at the middle. An absolutely perfect game. I'll never forget the games that I required a run rule, a quick run rule. One day I was on my way to Rockford, and we had a late start in the game, and I said to these girls, my husband's in a tournament in Rockford, I got my suitcases packed. I said, I want this team run rule, and they did it. A week later, I was sick, and we had a doubleheader, and I said, you guys, I'm not going to make it out here, and please run rule, and they run ruled in both games. So I can just call these orders out. How much they love me. Both those games, the game that Miss Pluth helped me when I was feeling really sick the day of the flu, begged me to leave. We had a game at Oak Forest this past Saturday, and they knew that one of my friends was getting married at noon, and my girls begged me to leave. Best game of the year was definitely the game against the boys' sophomore team. Yes. We lost 2-1, and they had 17 players out there on defense, and we had 13. And as the day went on, and in fact the days went on, I kept hearing the boys hit 22 out there, and we only hit 6. But basically, they did a real nice job. They was the most fired up team I ever had out there. They communicated, they talked, they did everything they had to do. And it was the first time, it was like the last week of the season. Now I'd like to get the girls up here. I'm going to go alphabetical because one person I sort of bumped at the end, but we'll start with Becky Bludgeon. Becky had a batting average, again, of .406. Becky was probably by far my hardest worker outside of practice. Then one day I saw her pitching, pulling around pitching, and so she stayed after and worked on pitching. I was so mad at her that she never come back. Becky probably has the most positive attitude. I think Miss Burke is just going to love it when she gets a girl like her. Okay, Sarah Bowen. Sarah is better known for the Sarah stretch. She made famous, and Sarah was the first baseman, and Sarah really had a great stretch. And I kept trying to teach her, get off the bag, get off the bag, get off the bag. And finally, I just thought she got the bag. This is the Sarah stretch. The one comment, is your mom and dad here? No. The one comment, you know, we always talk about excuses, and freshmen are well known for their excuses, but Sarah, I think, was the one who one time was running for a fly ball, and I was on her about not charging it. My underwear's not my She was also an open volleyball, and she missed practice here and there, and she took the bench. So it was really hard for her when she'd come back, and yet she did a real nice job. She always had great attitude and worked so hard. And she's the one who came back at the end of the year and was unstoppable up there in the last 3 games, 8 for 8 line drives. Second base, third base, they moved all over the place. Lori, by far, had no problem with her stick, and just led the team in extra bases also. They had a 5-7 game, pleasure to have the team, hard worker. The other thing I'd like to say about it, these 2 girls, as competitive they were each other's best supporter, and I just think that tells you something about the character of these 2 girls. They're fighting it out for this great position, and they're still each other's best supporters and best friends. So this is a great job. Kim Rosebach. Kim really made a tough transition. She had to take a 2-week vacation down in Florida. And came back, and I gave her such a hard time about working while she was down there. And the first game, I thought, she's going to get back in the swing of things. And so the first game back, she goes 5 for 5, including a double and home run. So Kim, again, it was a tough transition for her coming back, and she missed so many games in between there. And she did a great job in the outfield and a great job hitting. And got Regina Haas. Regina came up from freshman. She was the first person that I spotted on the freshman team that I said, I want this girl. She's strong, she's working hard, and we need pitching. Well, at the time, little did I know that Jolene and Chris, Jolene was going to carry the team like she did. And Regina came up and was by far one of the best outfielders we had. As far as dressed as can be, a fantastic arm, and really we're just planning where I would put her. Also, Regina's statistics on batting do not reflect what this girl does. This girl has hit more line drives than anybody I've ever coached. And unfortunately, always hits the line drives in people's gloves. And I always said to her, it doesn't matter what's down here on paper. You know, we see it, we know what you're doing. This girl is going to just do phenomenal things for the varsity. She just can't wait to us. Let me see. Okay, Kelly Kaminsky. Kelly, another one who came right off the bat, had to break a finger, you know, and yet, Kelly worked so hard. She came back, first day to see poor doctor, she was brace on, and I don't know who she was talking about varsity, but she played with brace, get it all took up, worked so hard because she wanted to play somewhere else. She just did, all these good players, they just gave her some bad advice. Came back and it was really tough for her because she had already, you know, she had slipped out of that starting off the position and had to work her way back in. Did a real nice job in the outfield. Sheila Carnahan. Sheila is by far the sweetest person I've ever had in my life. Sheila is always the one helping me, like Ms. Pooh said, like the one who always do anything for anyone. And Sheila is such a nice person, and she's so quiet sometimes that you don't even notice her. But Sheila really played through most of our season on third base. She was our most aggressive person on the bunch defense, but very consistent and very quiet. You didn't notice her, but she always got the job done. And I think Sheila's got it real off of our varsity team. She's a nice, really great hit. My mom and my team. Chris, I guess the one thing that I'll never forget about Chris is that I used to always tease her and all my pictures about their facial expressions and how much they show. And Chris pitching that was one thing. I mean, she used to get a bad call, and we all knew it. But then when she got, every time she batted, she's a pretty good sized player, and they just find a strike zone. And this girl got walk and walk and walk. And you're thinking that team players should like to get to one and be able to run those bases. And every time she'd ball for me, I'm on first again. Just get out of there. Chris was our second highest fielding percentage. She had a 900 batting average. I mean, defense. One of the things that I think, I have to qualify by saying is that Chris and Jolene knew. They're sophomores, or I should say knew, but they felt that they were coming up against such tough sophomore pitchers for varsity, and it was tough for them because they really didn't want to work on pitching. They wanted to work on other things because they know we've got great sophomore pitchers up on varsity. And I made them struggle through some games kind of when I could relieve them, but I told them to be a team player, and you know what? They came around, they did exactly what I wanted them to do. Wanted them to be a team player, and they did it, and it's a big sacrifice. It was a great job. Okay, let's get on to Nikki Myshak. Nikki Myshak was probably my most universal player. Nikki, I could put absolutely anywhere. She's an outstanding outfielder. And unfortunately, at the sophomore level, you guys didn't get much action out there at all. And occasionally, I would get to throw her in short, or I could throw anywhere in the infield, basically, and Nikki could get the job done. Nikki's a hard worker. I think that if I could kept her away from her sidekick, the other Nicole, probably. I didn't know what was going on out there, but every time I yell, I'd see that she was laughing. I don't know what was going on. But Nikki, again, is going to fill real key roles in the varsity outfield.
My dad.
No. Dina, our two twins, Sankey D and Sankey J. Gina, 400 batting average, defense, 833. He did an excellent job. I need to make one comment. Both those Sankey twins had a little trouble on the bases occasionally. I saw 20 times, 2 outs, go, 2 outs, go, 2 outs, go. And 2 outs, the ball get hit, and she'd stand there. No, I was so cool with it. Anyway, we got better. I embarrassed her because of that. But Dina just did a really nice job at second base, and that girl could keep her glove down. She She never pulls out, and she has great range. And you did a super job. I was real impressed. These schools used to brag about you, and then I saw you did a real stuff. Come on. And we got Thank You Jay now. This was interesting. Dina was gone a couple times, and so I moved Jenny, who was my other great glove, over to Dina's spot, and so they competed for a while. They didn't like it too much. Jenny was another one. I think it ran in the family. I remember our last game of the year, I think I had Jenny on third, and did one on, and girl took on perfect safe place, and Jenny goes, walking in third. I want to get the ball on first. I'm like, what are you doing? I don't know, I'm here. And I go, now this time, what's the safe place down? I'm going, oh, she did it. We have practiced things in games, but anyway. Jenny did a great job because I moved her. This is the person that I could play 3, I could play 2, and I threw out in the outfield. And she did it all. Never complained. Never a problem. I mean, I think her and Dina fought a little bit about it at second base. But they did such a nice job. Great glove. Jenny, come on out. Sandy probably is the best base runner that I've coached in a long time. Sandy's attitude is, I dare you. This time. And the only thing was, when we'd be beating teams like by 20 or 22, Sandy would take her normal half-base lead off and dare the catcher to throw, and it was like, just go back. You're out here until tomorrow. Sandy also made some of the best catches I've ever seen. And the last game against Plainfield, she made a diving catch way over by, there's that like little shed over there. And of course they called it out of play, but we all saw it. She did an excellent job. Sandy's another one. First base, super aggressive, always got the job done. And then I throw her in the outfield to do the job out there just to do it all. It's got And Nicole, got here she is. You know, this one used to like always look at me, and I always wonder, what is she thinking? Nicole was the first one today when I said to the girls, we had pictures taken of the team, and I said, I can't wait to get the banquet, and you guys are going to really get hassled by me. I can't wait to make my digs by you. And Nicole, I can't wait to make my digs by you. Why are we waiting? I said, no, you don't get to give a speech. Anyway, Nicole started off the year, and we weren't sure where we needed her. For a little bit of second and third, now we go back and forth, and she really got very determined. She said she was going to play it outfield. And she, by the middle of the year, just decided to work real hard. I worked on her earlier in the year to work hard, making her to stand on the left. But Nicole decided she wanted to be an outfielder. And I don't know if Nikki rubbed off on her, but she'd go out there and she would dive, she'd throw her body on the ground, she'd do whatever it took to get the job done. I think, again, Nicole, your statistics don't show what you did. By the end of the year, when that ball got hit towards Nicole, I knew that she was going to, no matter what she hurt on her body, she was going to knock the ball down. So I think very improved player, did an excellent job at the end of the year, and I think you'll have a good asset to our varsity outfield. Very much. Colleen, I cannot say enough for what she did for this team this year. Again, led the team defensively with a 950 fielding percentage, like 2 mistakes all year, and I'm not talking about easy brown balls. I'm talking about line drives that just took her head off a couple times, took her stomach off a few times, maybe some of it was self-defense, but this girl just had no fear. And I think it's such a compliment to her because she knew with her glove, she could have been working it short all year and refined her infield skills and be more ready for next year. And she knew that sophomores needed a pitcher. And she worked so hard to be the pitcher that we needed. And I think that is the ultimate compliment of a player to sacrifice themselves for the team. You did an excellent job. sophomore team was varsity all over the world. We want to see that too.
I would like the varsity squad to come up. I'd rather talk about all these kids at once. And we'll talk about it individually, but I want you to see the conference championship team. Come on up here, don't hide. Come on, Tina. And Weena. One thing that's exceptional about this team, besides the fact that there's 3 sophomores and 5 seniors and 6 juniors, very young, is that this is the team that has won the conference for the first time undefeated since 1981. And it was only done once in my 18 years. And I really appreciate the fact that when we were getting together at the beginning of the season, we were writing down goals. Half of those kids wrote win the conference undefeated, and almost all of them wrote win the conference as one of their goals. And girls, I want to congratulate you because you did it and in class undefeated. I'm just so proud of all these girls. They've set some goals for themselves, and they've set individual goals, they've set team goals, and I think when we went to the all-conference meeting last night, I had no idea how many kids were going to come out of all-conference. The most we've ever had is 5, with a couple honorable mentions, but to have 8 all-conference players, I am so proud of every one of these girls. And really, we almost had 9 or 10, really. And it was just awesome to think that at most positions there was more than 4 or 5 people nominated. And when we nominate these people and we bring in their stats and we put their names up to be able to be all conference, the coaches do not vote for their own players. We have nothing to say. We give our 2 points to the opposing team. And so when they are voted unanimous by the rest of the school, that's quite an honor. And the kids who were voted unanimous were also recommended for the All-State nominees from our conference. And those people that were nominated for All-State is Kara Manley, Dee Odell, and Amber Pod-Lesney. And so they were... the reason also that we had so many of our players is all conference, which is extremely unusual besides the fact that they're a great team, is that we have a 958 fielding percentage as a team. And so that is excellent. And when you consider all 14 of these girls have contributed to our success, then that just tells that we have a very, very balanced team. And we have a lot of talent, and I'm really proud of each one of them. Excited for you. Another thing that was their goal was to be close as a team. We started out the season and we had rain like we have now, still rain. And one day we were out at practice and we decided to have a little competition that was so muddy that we couldn't see and we were getting ready to go in. And we went to put the equipment in the back of my van and they found a big barge rope that was about this big around and really about 60 feet long. And so we tied a handkerchief in the middle. We had a tug of war. It was sophomores and the seniors against the juniors. And several times the juniors got run through the mud. And it was quite fun because I couldn't believe how muddy they got. And really, besides that, they kind of let down their hair because a lot of the younger kids didn't know the older kids. And it was a real opportunity for them to get to know each other a little bit better in a fun way. And Tracy Holcutt won the muddiest.
I got her.
And then they kind of, Tina got Tracy pretty good. I think they were packing mud in their face and their mouth. side nod, this side smile. Like, pretty funny. But they were a very close team. And the one thing that I would like to say has been my pleasure, I've never had a team in 18 years that was this much fun to coach, and that's a compliment to you and your attitudes and how you've all pulled together. And I've never lost a night's sleep over this team, and I am thankful for that. And I would just say that it's because we've been working very hard on attitude, team concept, and they've really gone along with that. And that's not always easy to do when you put 14 different personalities together. And every one of them is competitive. And every one of them has the ability to be a starter. And every one of them has shared that position off and on. And I just really can't say enough about how much it's been a pleasure to coach this team. And if you've read any articles about our team, it's been praising the kids for what they've done because they are champions. And one time in a game we were getting really rough and it was kind of hard to come back. And I said, look, champions find a way to win. And they did. And that was in the Thornwood game. So we went right after Thornwood in the second game. And it was exciting to see that they had 10 heads against the team that was, quote, ranked number 1. And that was really neat and exciting. And now for the last 4 or 5 weeks, we've been, quote, ranked number 1. And it's Tribune and Sun-Times. And I think that's an honor, but it's something that we have to put out of our mind at this time. And we have to realize that everything that we've accomplished, the all-conference positions, the conference championship, the rankings, everything has to be put aside. And now we have to keep our eyes on the goal. And that goal was regionals. And that was the next goal that most 85% of the kids put down on the team, that they would like to win regionals. And so we have to set aside all those things, and we have to realize how much we've learned, all the experience, the 14-inning ball games where we won 2-1, 11-inning ball games that we won 2-1, all the times that they hung tough when it really counted. And a lot of people said something that was a real compliment to these girls, and they said they never quit. And so I would say that that's the highest compliment that you can pay to a team. And that's what you're going to need to go through the regionals and to win it and come out on top. And so we want to put everything aside. We want to focus on what our goal is. We want to be determined. We want to have confidence. And we want to go after what's there because the opportunity is now. Okay? The opportunity is here and we have to take advantage of it. Okay. First I would like to say our 3 sophomores have been a pleasure. I have to say that I have 3 words for these girls. First of all, Missy Porzell is competitive. Tracy Hocutt is aggressive. And her nickname is McMahon. Is that why you have this last one? I'm just kidding. And Amber's is competitive also. Amber has over 177 strikeouts so far this year and 384 in 2 years. And so Amber has really done a lot for our program. And that's to say that it's not only what she's done, she realizes that you need the hitting because every time she comes off the field, she goes, let's hit, with real intensity. And so she realizes how much she needs everybody else, and everybody else realizes how much we need her, we need Missy, and we need each other. And that's a key thing. Amber was the all-conference unanimous selection for pitcher this year, and she was all-area Sun-Times this year. They go and get their picture this Sunday for the all-area Sun-Times, and they only picked 2 pitchers in the Chicagoland area. And so out of all the schools, so Amber, that was quite an accomplishment, and congratulations. And also, because of the unanimous vote from our conference. Amber is also an all-state nominee. Amber Podlesny. First year letter, all conference DH. Missy is very competitive. She wants to play, she wants to pitch. She did a super job today. Won a shutout and only gave up 2 hits. And she is undefeated in this season. And Missy's just done a super job. And I have never had a backup pitcher as good as Missy is in all the years I've coached. And so I really appreciate that. And she just needs to be patient. But I really appreciate Missy. Missy, come on. Tracy Hopus. This is Tracy's first year on varsity, and she was one of the few girls that wrote on her sheet that she wanted to be all conference. She got a goal sheet, and she didn't sign her name, so nobody would know. And, but we couldn't guess. And so Tracy Hopus, all conference, third base. And she just did an exceptional job. In fact, she scoops up the bunts before they hardly come off the bat.
Yep.
And so, Tracy, you've done a super job. Congratulations. By diving over the fence.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And came up with the ball. The umpire almost passed out. And then when we're in at our own field, we have a 6-foot fence there by third base. And she climbed the fence and caught the ball, reaching over into our dugout. And the other umpire almost passed out. And so Tracy really did a super job on being aggressive. Okay, our juniors. Tina Erickson. Tina. Come forward. Very determined. Tina, you've done a super job for us at second base, and I really appreciate your attitude and your team spirit.
Erickson.
Yes, you do.
Of course you do.
Over the chair. Shannon Goddard. Shannon's first year letter winner and all conference, second base. She has saved a lot of plays over on second base side and a lot of 31 plays just in conference games alone. And no errors over there. 1 error on Hooper at Romeoville. But Shannon's done a super job. One of her best games was the Joliet Central game. And she really snuggled up a lot of balls over on that side and did a super job for us. I would say Shannon's consistent. That's the thing for sure. Congratulations. Good job.
Say something about our all conference.
Okay, Dawn Trobin.
Yeah,
Dawn is a second-year varsity player, shortstop, very strong arm, and very consistent. She goes right after him, and Dawn, I'm really proud of you and how you played today. You're all conference in my book. And I think that next year you will be for sure. I'll make sure of that. Yeah, Dawn's done a super job for us and this second year in varsity, and I know that the two girls that really didn't get all conference are really, deserving of it, and they feel bad. I mean, it's unusual that you would even get 8 in the first place, and then when there's only 2 left, then they feel left out, but it's not anything against them. It's just that sometimes, like shortstop position has about 7 nominees out of the schools that are there, and the catcher has 5 or 6. And so sometimes you have to realize that when the other schools, girls had all conference last year, both catchers were all conference last year that got it. And so they're not going to go for the newcomer on the block. So sometimes it happens, and what you got to do is grit your teeth and work harder and get it next year. Okay? So I really feel like they're top quality kids. And that's Brandy Moran, catcher. Brandy's first year letter winner. We brought her up in the regionals last year. And she did a good job for us. We're excited about how she's come around calling the games for Amber, and she's done just a super job for us. Lisa Troutman. Lisa Troutman was first year letter winner and was all-conference outfielder. And it's the first year I've ever had twins on my team, but I see some more coming. It's going to be fun. I think there is about two more sessions in there. So this is going to be fun. When I yell Trout, then they both look, So I've had the other girls in my clinics in the summer, so that was kind of fun too. I couldn't tell them apart, except for if they wore different color outfits. Lisa's done a super job for us in left field, and one of Lisa's greatest assets is her strong arm, and she could throw home on the dime. And when we have Lisa throwing to Dawn on the relay, people don't get home runs off of the quarters. Okay, and that's going to be our strength. Pam Porto. Pam tore ligaments in her ankle playing volleyball. And she was so anxious to get into her softball season that they had a family ceremony in which they cut off the And so we had several doctors take a look at her before we let her out in public again. And she's just done a super job for us. And Pam is looking forward to clobbering a couple of hits in a key situation, and she's really hit the ball well. Today she ripped the ball down the first baseline that if the girl hadn't snow coned it, it would have gone through. And so, thanks Pam for your excitement, and we're going to look forward to a lot of good softball games with you. One special person on our team that is very, very important to us is our manager, Cindy Beeson. Here from Pennsylvania, and tried out for our team, and she's a great player. It's kind of hard when you see what these kids can do from their sophomore years and stuff like this and come in, and Cindy came in, and I said, Cindy, do you want to be our manager? And she loves softball so much, and she loved these kids, and they all get along great, and she's helped us so much that this is the best manager I've ever had, and I really thank her for all of her hard work. ahead. Okay, and now I save the best to last every year. It's my seniors. They're so special to me. They really are. The first thing that I want to tell you about these seniors is that they have been team leaders. Totally team leaders. On and off the field, whether they started or they didn't start, they have been team leaders. They have been encouragers, and they have been keeping everybody up. They have been examples in every way. And if any of you girls coming up to varsity would ever have the same kind of attitude that these seniors have, then you'll always be an asset to your team. And the first one I want to call up is Lisa Ebenroth.
Yay!
This is Lisa's second year varsity letter. Lisa got all conference outfielding with 1,000 fielding percent in conference games. And Lisa, congratulations. Lisa has a great attitude, and she's been very patient. I don't know. Last year she came in as a junior. We had 7 juniors, and Lisa and Nikki and Renata have been probably the greatest example of unselfishness that I've ever coached. And I don't know if I had position for 8 outfielders and we played 8 outfielders, I would play them all the time. And I just can't say enough about how they've been more than special to me as far as the players. And I hope that you juniors and you sophomores, if you ever have to take turns, or you ever have to sit the bench, or you ever have to come in when we need you, that you could come through like they have. And so I really appreciate them. Nikki Kepler. Listen, you know what Nikki and Kara did before our season started, just in preparation for our first game? They cut out little figures and they made keychains for every single girl on the team and the coaches, and they hand painted them. And let's see those. And I thought that this is the same little man that's on the front of our sweatshirts. And I thought that that was a really neat thing that they did all that work in preparation for starting our season to get us started on the right foot. Thank you. Shannon. And Renata.
Renati.
Renata comes in and she is she's excited about every opportunity that she gets to contribute for the team. And anytime that we call on her, she's ready to go. She's more than excited about every opportunity. And Renata, you know what? We've had some times that we've made it downstate before, and it's the kids that come in with attitudes like you that's going to come through and win the big ball game for us. And she did when she laid down that bunt with 2 outs and 2 strikes and helped us win. And Renata's that kind of competitor, and I really appreciate her. Renata, second. Renata's Miss Speedy. Speedy. Okay, I want my twins to come down together. Kara and Dee Dee, my 2 twins. up at the beginning of her sophomore year, and both of them have been a tremendous compliment to our program. They quit crying long enough so I can Kara's had over 58 RBIs in the last 2 years, and Kara's was all conference last year, and she was all state Tribune, and Kara's going to Indiana University on a softball scholarship.
It's better than you.
And they're saying, stop it, stop it. And Kara's just been a real example. She's the glue that holds our outfield together, and the glue that is an example for our team and determination. If we need a hit, we can count on one of these two for coming through. Dee Otto is also a major contribution to our team in that she's hit over 110 RBI in the last 3 years. She had 53 RBI in her sophomore year and 38 in her junior year, and about, yeah, and we're not done yet, so we're just going to keep looking forward to more RBI. These two girls have really helped us a lot, and I'm not putting them above anybody else because everybody is just as important. But I knew that they had to come up together. And thank you for all conference. Again, Kara Manley was also all area Sun Times this year, and we'll be getting that award. And congratulations for all that you've done to help our program. Sometimes Kara was called Hollywood because she makes diving catches in the outfield. And Dee Otto, thank you for all of your contributions for 3 years. Dee says we have to go downstate because she didn't get to go in '87. And I says, Dee, you should have raised your hand and said, I'm a freshman, I can hit, would you take me with you? You know? And if she would have been right there helping us. So Dee, let's go. Dee Otto is going on a scholarship to Eastern Illinois University, and so we're very excited for these girls and for the opportunities that have come through for them. Thank you. The only other thing I'd like to say is we could use your support. It's going to be exciting regionals. They are charging admission this year because we have a fence. And so it will be $1, $2, $3. And if you want your $3 worth, come early and get a good seat. Bring your lawn chairs. It's going to be great. The sun's going to be shining Thursday. And we're going to play the winner of Minooka or Providence. Starting out the regional competition on Thursday. And the game will start at 4 o'clock. Yeah. Okay. And then on Saturday, we play the winner of Joliet Western Plainfield. And that's at 10 o'clock. Championship game is on Tuesday. Okay, against Morris or St. Francis. Unless Lincoln Way or Joliet Central beats them. It does make our field look very attractive. It keeps our outfielders from running downhill through the cow path. And so we're excited about having it, and we want to thank you for your support and help. Thank you. Okay. Thanks.
LCTV. I'm like looking down. Wait a minute, you guys, wait. It's right on. Just pull. Alright. Put your finger on the way.
Joe, stop. Joe, don't take it anymore. Don't take it away. Hi, Mr. Hopcut.
Who's going to win tomorrow? What time is it? I wish we
Is that turned on?
Yeah.
This is my best friend, Cindy B.
Are you back next year?
No.
Oh, you're senior?
Yeah. Oh God! Hi, Mr. Hopcut.
Hey.
Hi, Hope. Let me take my No, but oh well. It'll work anyway.
So rad.
And you were the number one selection of all time. So how do you like that? A lot better. Tracy did a super job.
Don't put that on LCTV. All you LCTV viewers out there,
Proof is in the pudding.
you are so weak.
We got to.
Gotta be successful, then the rest is pudding.
Oh, look at there's a soccer. Soccer.
Yeah, well, you might get another one.
I give you. Be on soccer. Soccer. Soccer letters.
Let me see your all conference. Your all conference?
So what?
Let me see it.
We'll be pulling. We'll be watching. Good. Cool stock. All conference selection. So much. So nice. They're nice.
Say hi, Charlie. Don't get too close together.
Hey, that's a really mad face. Is this on?
Yep.
Look at mad.
Bye.
Happy.
Out of focus.
Shut up, like she's not there. We go, Chase, ready? Thank you.
A little publicity for UIC.
What did you do? Cut off our heads? Huh? Two things we did. I don't know why I remember that. I know. I wasn't even thinking of that. I'm like, we go on to take a picture of the speaker. And then you pick up the speaker, you gotta smile. Alright, here you go. Dina! I was waiting. I was hoping your dad was here. Gonna thought, oh, he's gonna kill me for saying that.
When I had either.
Come on, laugh. Like X for this?
I'm taking the logo.
Oh, Mr. Hoka, you're a nurse.